Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment. Today we are discussing, could Carmela have left Tony Soprano earlier? Welcome back to Fog Entertainment. We're here to discuss, because we're looking at the Sopranos Season 4 theories. Of course, we've started the reviews back up and running, and we're looking at, should Tony have left Tony? Should Tony have left Tony? Should Carmela have left Tony instead of complaining? You know, she's like one of the biggest hypocrites in the entire series. I think you could do a tier list on who's the biggest hypocrite, right? But I think it's just one of those worlds and one of those lives where if you're a woman and you just stay by your man, you are a hypocrite. Like, you know what he's involved in. We see it throughout the show, like with Meadow. You know, it's almost like they're blind to it, but they know it's there. It's either like you leave your family or you are a hypocrite. Now, I've used Reddit to like back up my thoughts here, and everyone thinks the same. So someone on the Sopranos Reddit, MagicMan99 says, Carmela Soprano, the biggest hypocrite in the entire series. Carmela knew what she was getting into with Tony. She used to be around Dickie Moltisanti and the other guys, yet here she is, bitching, moaning, etc. Oh, poor you, Carm. She wanted to hump Itidola. She humped Wiggler and was in love with one of Tony's important guys, Furio. In love. Is there a bigger hypocrite anywhere else in The Sopranos? Frankly, I'm depressed and ashamed. And then Saskia replied saying, she could have had a Hyundai and a simple gold heart and a chain, but ended up with strong-arming men with the only weapon she had, her pussy. Carmela, strong-arming men with her snatch since 1981 or whatever fucking age, I don't know. Anyway, talk about it. Let's talk about it. Yeah, Tony Soprano, Carmela. Like, Tony is a hypocrite in some ways, but at least he knows what he is. You know, he knows he's the mob boss. You know, Carmela rocks around with her diamond rings and her earrings and all the cars, the money, and she acts like butter wouldn't melt in her mouth, as Tony rightfully said to her once. And she's just so hypocritical. It's like, it's not even like she leaves Tony because of the life at the end of season 4. It's because like she finally thought the cheating was enough, and the fact he slept with a woman with one leg, that was the final straw for Carmela. It's got nothing to do with morality in the show. It's absolutely not. Right, absolutely not. As Blue Plate 1958 says, her fairy mundanity, her pleasing personality, her genuine concern for her friends is ironic, yet all too real. It's all about the way we go round with blinders on. She was woken up for a minute in a psychiatrist's office when she said the word mafia and she started crying, but she sealed it over as people do. You go back, Jack, do it again. Another eye-opener for Carmela in the psychiatrist's office was she meets with Dr. Melfi alone and comes to realise that she married Tony for his criminal lifestyle, not in spite of it. Quite the aha moment. The Catholic Church was to Carmela as a poverty law centre was to Meadow. Both moral hypocrisies. A huge drive for the mob guys was her wife's spending and the Ivy League schools. Exactly. It's like Carmela wants everything Carmela's got in the show, like her kids and, you know, the house, the clothes, the earrings, the rings, or the Ivy League school education. Everything comes as a result of the mob business, right? And I get it. It makes for like a more compelling dynamic to have a character that's like conflicted. But I wouldn't even say she's conflicted, but obviously if she just accepts Tony for who he is, even though she kind of already has done that, like if she just accepts Tony for who he is, right, the show would kind of be boring. And also Meadows the same. Like AJ's kind of a moonbeam and he's already on his own planet, but at least with Carmela and Meadow, the fact that they butt head with Tony is due to this shit, and we see it throughout the show. It would be a bit bland if they just fell in line and agreed with like everything Tony did. But the fact of the matter is this: at least like the daughter's born into that life. She doesn't really have a choice. I mean, I guess she is 19, is like around the time of season 4. She could like get her own job and leave. Right? Doesn't have to be a part of the family. But with Carmela, she's the one that married Tony. She's the one that married into this life. She knew, you know, like you can pretend that you can put the blinders on, as that comment said, but everyone in their right mind who's got, you know, a functioning fucking brain and a couple of brain cells to go with it knows what the mafia and like organised crime's about. And you can't just cry wolf when some bad things happen. Like, when she's talking to Tony here, and the real reason why we made this video is because, like, she wants some money to go into their kid's account, and Tony's like, if anything ever happens to me, you will be sorted, do not worry about it. And he's right, but Carmela keeps pushing him, and he's like, he's essentially saying, we can't treat what I do like it's a normal fucking job. Like, yeah, there is, like, the tax returns and all that good stuff, but the reality is, he's in organised crime, not waste management, damn it. Carmela, the biggest hypocrite in the entire series. She's definitely up there for me.